guys, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have already turned on the caption. So if you have any problem to understand what I am saying, you can see the caption and from the caption you can write it down at your copy. So today we're gonna talk about that three basic categories of our operating system. First category is the embedded operating system. Embedded operating system means the handheld operating system, means the operating system, means the device that we can easily carry out wherever or whatever we are going. Say for example, the smartphone or tab. This is called the embedded device. So the embedded device is used which operating system? That operating system is called the embedded operating system. Then come to the point about network operating system. Another thing is with embedded operating system, it permanently stored on ROM chip. Means if you think about laptop or desktop, there are different types of memory. There is volatile memory, there is non-volatile memory. But whenever it is come about the embedded devices, at that point of time, it is only work with the ROM, means the non-volatile memory. That's why we cannot upgrade or we cannot rename or we cannot change anything whatever we have already stored or whatever we got in our mobile phone or tab. It only uses the ROM chip and for example that smartphone, tablet also, the cable TV Turner boxes all are under this embedded operating system. Now come to the point about network operating system. Network operating system means the linked computer. Linked computer means there is a mother computer and there are lots of local computers. So the local computer is connected with the mother computer. That mother computer is also known as the server computer. If you see this diagram, so this is the server and these all are the local computer. So these all local computer are connected with this mother computer. So that is called the network operating system. So the server computer or the mother computer which have used the which type of operating system, that is called the network operating system. And at the end there is the standalone operating system. Standalone operating system means on and only your local computer. Means your laptop, your desktop, your notebook. Say for example, at our home, the laptop we are using, this is a standalone operating system. The desktop you are using at your home, that is a standalone operating system. But for network operating system, if you think about your own university's desktop, that when you go to the computer lab, you gonna practice with computers of your lab. So all these computers are connected with the server computer. From that server computer, it is actually holding the network connection, the network setting, all types of application purpose, all types of member allocation, all the things. If the server computer is stopped the network auction, at that point of time, all of your local computer at that point of time also be stopped the network auction. So that is the thing, that the difference between network operating system and standalone operating system. A standalone operating system, also known as the client operating system. Now, it is discussed about that what are the types of operating system. Here is given 4 types: Windows, Mac, Linux and Linux. But if you search on the website and Google, there is not only 4 types of operating system. There are lots of operating systems. Even Linux have more than 25 types of operating system. More than 25. There is Red Hat, Kali Linux, Ubuntu 16.4, Red Dragon, are lots of operating systems are there. Even when you go through the Windows operating system also upgraded day to day. Every day it is upgraded. Now it is so here is discussed about only some versions of Windows. So today at the Google Classroom, I will upload you the first assignment. So in your first assignment, you have to search on Google and find out that what were the versions of Windows operating system till now. So from the very beginning of the version to till now, how many happened? You have to find it out and you have to write it down, at least 3 characteristics of all types of versions of Windows operating system. The thing is, here is given some of the versions, only some. That Windows 98, which is the first version of Windows operating system, which is a stand-alone operating system, means they actually developed this operating system first at the very beginning, at the very first time, that as a home user, you can use easily at your home. You don't need to go to the office to use your operating system or use the desktop. Whenever Windows 2000 Professional came, it is upgraded from Windows 98. Whenever Windows XP comes, it is provide improved interface stability and reliability. Point that what is stability, reliability and interface. Already you know, interface means that we can interact the software through our hardware by this mouse pointer. So this pointer help us to interact with the software. So the interface was actually upgraded and Windows XP. Then stability and reliability means it is more user friendly and more easy to use to understand. Stability means it can be run any types of hardware. If you think about the Mac operating system is not stability. You cannot run Mac operating system on any types of hardware. You cannot run Mac operating system in Asus, HP or Dell. You must have to run Mac operating system in Apple. But whenever it comes about Windows operating system, especially when it is about the Windows XP, at that point of time they make it stable. Means it can run any types of devices. And reliability means it is very friendly with the user. User can easily cope up with the system. Then come Windows Vista. So Windows Vista is first provided the security system and the dimensional difference in the before Windows Vista up to Windows XP there was always 2D dimension. So there is no virtualization of 3D dimensional or 3D means. But in today's computer, you can easily figure it out that the 3D dimension also the 2D dimension. You can compare these two things, we can distinguish these two things. Another thing is security. Today, when we first put up our operating system, it is up to our users, we can provide the user ID and password to our system. But whenever we are thinking about before Vista, there is no security system. So they provide also the updated security system. Guys, just give me 1 minute. I am coming.
কি হলো?
So whenever it comes about Windows Vista, it is provide more security system to your computer devices. So you can provide the user ID and password and you can easily compatible with your device. After that Windows 7 comes, which is more speed, stability and experience for the users, means it is more user friendly than the other version of Windows operating system. After that Windows 8 comes, it have also included some more features. So today at the Google Classroom, I will provide you the assignment. You will get the announcement at your Facebook group. So at the Facebook group, I will announce that when I will upload the assignment at the Google Classroom. So from the classroom, you collect your assignment and your assignment topic is that the versions of Windows, you have to search it from Google that how many versions Windows operating system has and what are their characteristics. You have to write down at least 3 characteristics for each of the version. You have to do your assignment, you have to write down the things at A4 size paper and you must have to create the front page for your assignment paper, the cover page, and click the picture, send me the mail address which I will provide you. Also, after this class, I will provide at the Google Classroom your serial. So you must have to write down your serial number at the file name and also your section and your ID. So guys, in this slide, if you have any question, you can ask.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, tell.
Since on Mac device we cannot install any other operating system, so can we say that it's a embedded operating system about Mac?
No, Mac is not embedded. If you use, say for example, a small device such like iPhone, smartphone, tab, that are called embedded device. So the embedded device is used the operating system. That operating system is called the embedded operating system. Embedded means that handheld. You can easily carry on the device. Do you clear my point?
Yes, ma'am, got it.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yes, still.
Ma'am, if we don't work in institution, then we might have a personal computer. So, is it possible to make our personal computer as a server computer?
If your personal computer is connected with more than 2 to 3 computers, more than one computers, and your personal computer become the client computer, means from your personal computer you can handle the other computers. At that point of time, your personal computer can become the network computer. Do you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So now, ma'am, our personal computer is not connected with any kind of server computer. Is it right,
Yes.
ma'am?
Yes. So that's why it is now local computer.
Okay, ma'am.
Any more question, guys? Okay. Then come to the point about Mac computer. Apple introduced this Mechatronics microcomputer. Mac, the full form of Mac is Mechatronics microcomputer. OS means the operating system, which is first developed in 1984. The thing is, Mac is not popular as like as Windows operating system, because the first thing why it is not popular, you can install Windows operating system, any of the hardware, any of the device. There is no restriction. When you come to think about Mac operating system, there is a restriction. You definitely need the Apple computer or the Apple device. Otherwise, you won't be able to install the Mac operating system. Today, by using the Oracle VirtualBox or any other VirtualBox, you can install Mac operating system and you can get the test of Mac operating system. But directly, you cannot install in your device the Mac operating system. That is the thing. Another thing, that when a customer go to buy any laptop or desktop, he always think that how can he buy the things with a lower price. But the Apple devices not cost very low, it cost very high. So for as a student or as a general people, it is totally a big loss for them to buy a very high price or high amount price of a laptop that is cost very high. So that's why Mac operating system is not popular as Microsoft operating system, as Windows operating system. The thing is, in today, Mac operating system upgraded some new things. First of all, the Spotlight. Now the thing is, what is actually Spotlight? So here you see my icons in this dashboard. So these are the icons of my application programs which I am using. If I point this this application program, you can see a square shape thing which is come. That is actually called the Spotlight. So they upgraded the Spotlight. So the square shape, that if I point the mouse, so you can see this is square shape. So this square shape is called the Spotlight. That where you are actually pointing with your mouse, that is called the Spotlight. Dashboard widgets. Dashboard widgets means this is the dashboard of our Windows operating system. So this is the dashboard of our Windows operating system. So Mac operating system upgraded their dashboard. So dashboard means this is called the dashboard. First, when you open your computer, that is called dashboard. And it also includes the boot camp. Now the thing is, I cannot show you what is boot camp. Boot camp is whenever you try to turn on your computer at the very beginning, at this corner, you can see one thing is written that by clicking this thing, you can go to the boot up system. So that is called actually boot camp. So in my computer, if I before turn on my computer, at the point of starting very beginning, if I click on ESC, it directly go to the boot up system, and from the boot up system, I can change a lots of things. The thing is, if you are not familiar with the boot up system, don't do such type of things. It will hamper your system. Guys, did you complete your hardware course?
Yes, ma'am.
So, as you completed your hardware course, you already see from your lab that how can you go to boot up system and what are the functionalities of boot up system. You learn all of these things from hardware course, right guys?
Yes, ma'am. But unfortunately, we couldn't visit our lab yet. I did it online.
Oh, okay. If it is at the lab, so at that point of time, you could learn a lots of things. Because the hardware at the lab class, there are 4 lab classes depends on boot up. And there are lots of things you need to learn at the boot up system. A lots of things. It's very interesting. Then Unix and Linux operating system. The thing is, Unix is the main version and there are lots of versions. Kali Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Red Dragon, Ubuntu 4 are lots of versions, are lots of types. Actually, the types of Unix operating system. Actually, Unix or Linux, whatever you can say, all of them are open source operating system. Open source means you can easily, without free of cost, you can easily install, you can easily download the operating system. Even you can read the code, that what are the codes they using for Linux operating system. You can read it, you can saw it, and after that you can actually develop your own operating system. But why Linux operating system is not popular? Though it is free, the thing is, if you are a general user, if you are not caught up with Linux operating system, if you go to use the Linux, you need to write everything at the terminal. If you write nothing, you cannot run anything. Whenever you go to save your file and folder, and you also need to write the code at the terminal. Install the application program. Also, you need to write some code at the terminal. Otherwise, you won't be able to run any types of applications, any types of things in the Linux, Ubuntu, or Kali Linux, or whatever you say at that operating system. But whenever it is come about the Windows operating system, Windows is too much portable and user friendly that though Windows have as a command option, Windows also have its own terminal which is called CMD, but you don't need to write anything at the CMD. The programming purpose, you can use CMD, but without CMD, without terminal, you can easily run the Windows operating system. It is very user friendly. So that's why Windows is very much popular than the Linux operating system. Linux is especially built for the students who are very much good at writing the things, are very much good at coding, very much good at the working things. So this and at last there is the mobile operating system. So mobile operating system is actually the embedded operating system or the tab operating system, whatever you can say. So some well-known mobile operating system which is BlackBerry, iPhone, Android, Symbian and Windows Phone operating system. So guys, that's all about the first chapter. So if you have any problem or any question regarding this first slide, you can ask me right now.
Ma'am, about Windows and Linux, since we already have come to know that Windows is much user friendly and easier to use than Linux, despite why still Linux are using people. What is the main
Say for
advantage behind
example,
this?
if you are a very good programmer or if you want to develop your career study as a cyber security specialist for higher study, you definitely need to learn the Linux operating system. You definitely, you must. If you want to work with the networking system instead of software, you definitely need to learn the Linux because the network operating system is compatible with Linux operating system, not the Windows. At that point of time, you must have to learn Linux.
Oh.
Do you get my point?
Yes, ma'am, it makes sense. Got it.
Oh. Any more questions, guys?
No, ma'am.
So, this second lecture will discuss about the overview of computer system. If you try to, if you want to develop your own operating system, before develop it, you need to have a very good knowledge about the hardware. Say for example, you developed an operating system or a software, but it won't support your hardware. At that point of time, your all types of work actually go in vain. Whenever you think about the operating system, you must have to connect with the computer hardware. Your computer hardware, if it is capable to hold the operating system, at that point of time it can hold. Otherwise, it cannot hold. Say for example, if you want to run any types of gaming software or any types of 3D animation software, say for example Maya or Tiger software, or any types of gaming software, at that point of time you need the processor should be very high and very powerful processor. Also your memory should be more than 8 GB RAM. If it is less than 8 GB, your computer will totally gone. The computer will be hacked every 1 to 2 seconds later. So that's why you need to understand a very good thing about overview of computer system. So in this lecture, we're gonna learn about introduction of computer system, top level view of computer system, process register, instruction execution, how operating system run a program and interrupts. All of these things are very interesting. You just need to understand these things very carefully. If you don't understand whatever I am saying, see the caption and from there you can write it down at your copy. First of all, that what is actually a computer? A computer system is one that is able to take a set of input, process them and create an output. Means computer is a combination of hardware and software. First of all, we provide the input, then the processor process it and after that we get the output. Say for example, If you think about code block, what we do? At the code block, we write the code. Then when we click on run, the compiler run the code. Means the compiler actually process the code. The compiler check whether there is any error occur or not. After complete the processing, then it provide the output. If your program is correct, it show you the result. If it is not correct, it show you the error message. That's where the error is actually happened. So computer system work the same way as when you run a small code at the code block or NetBeans or Python. The same way, the same procedure. And already I have discussed with you that what is operating system. Operating system make a connection between your computer hardware and software. Say for example, when you try to install any application software, you can always see, it is always shown you which type of operating system you are using. Then it always show you that whether your system is 64-bit operating system or 32-bit operating system. You have to carry all of the things. Also, it sometimes show that if the software is very high software or very heavy software, at that point of time it also show that you need at least 8 GB RAM free for install this software, or you need at least 10 GB RAM free for install this software. So think, to install any types of application software, you need to figure it out first of all which operating system it is capable to run, and also your system, your hardware is also capable to install it or not according to the memory and the processor. So that's why operating system is called the connection line or the bridge between computer software and hardware. Then the basic elements of a computer. This is the top level view of our operating system, of our computer. Discuss these things, you have to first of all understand what are the basic elements for a computer. In the top level view, you can see the processor, memory and I/O devices. This is the processor, this is the memory, and this is the I/O devices. Now, processor means that which is control operation of the computer, and also it is take the performance of your computer. That means when I went to the task manager of my computer, you can see there is an option which is performance. If you click the performance, you can see what is the performance of your memory, what is the performance of your CPU, what is the performance of your Wi-Fi, what is the performance of your graphical user interface. Even if you attach some more devices, say for example, if you attach pen drive, if you attach printer, if your computer is connected with Ethernet, it is also show you the graphs for those types of items. So all these things are done by our processor. So processor is the major thing of our computer hardware, which actually control all the tasks. Processor, you can compare it as say that it is the head. It controls that all the tasks are doing properly or not. Then the main memory. Main memory is volatile in nature. It is also known as the primary memory. It is store data and programs. So our RAM, random access memory, is a main memory. It is volatile in nature. The thing is, say for example, I open Windows Microsoft Word document, and without saving it, I am writing a letter. Because of the electricity or the battery issue, my computer turned off. When again I turn on my computer, it is not possible for me to find out that application because I did not save it. But think that how can you work with your Microsoft Word and write the letter without saving it? Because of the volatile memory, because of RAM. The things we did, the things we write, the mathematical calculation we did in the Excel sheet or PowerPoint or text editor, it is gone to the RAM, means our volatile memory. Whenever we click on the save button, it show me that which drive I need to save. At that point of time, it go to your hard disk or it go to your ROM. So that is called the memory, main memory. So main memory is our RAM and it actually volatile in nature. I/O modules. I/O modules actually make the connection with your external device to your hardware. Yesterday's class I already shown you there is, if you go for the device driver, you can see the list of the external devices. Any of the external devices with your computer, at that point of time the I/O modules actually help you, the device driver, to connect the external device, work the tasks, perform the tasks. In the I/O modules, there are separate sectors. In these separate sectors, it is actually gone through which external device it is working now on. I will discuss this in a very big way tomorrow's class. Not right now, because from the diagram I will discuss a lots of things. You have to write it down, all of the things at your copy, because at the exam time I will ask you that draw the top level view of computer system and also explain it what you understand. So you have to draw it and you have to write down what is even the scenario in this picture. I will discuss it the next class. And the last but not the least, which is the system bus. So system bus is actually provide the communication between the processor and I/O modules. So this is the system bus. It is actually make the communication within your processor, I/O modules and main memory. That is the thing. You can consider the system bus as our vein of our body. Through the vein, our blood circulation is done our whole body. So it makes the communication the whole body through the vein with the blood circulation. System bus also do the same thing. System bus transfer the signals from processor to I/O, sometimes processor to memory, sometimes memory to I/O. It depends on according to the task. So guys, up to this, if you have any question, you can ask. Guys, are you from section G, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.